The Britpop hit Wonderwall is generally reserved these days for late night karaoke and amateur open mic nights, but when Oasis released Wonderwall in 1995, it was one of the biggest and most successful British songs of all time, and certainly their biggest hit to date. As the years passed, the song was mercilessly overplayed and nearly strangled to death by radio. In fact, even Liam Gallagher, Oasis lead singer, despises the song. It's worth revisiting Wonderwall just to recognize how incredible it really is. Lead songwriter Noel Gallagher penned Wonderwall at Rock Food Studios in Wales on a rainy Tuesday night. Noel, the lead runner of the band, told his brother, then Oasis lead singer Liam, that he could sing the lead on either Wonderwall or Don't Look Back in Anger, and Liam chose Wonderwall reluctantly. The title of the song, Wonderwall, was inspired by the most famous band in Britain. Yes, you've guessed it, the Beatles. In 1968, George Harrison released his first post-Beatles album, Wonderwall Music. The song's meaning, though, is far less clear. In 1996, Noel told NME that the song was about his then-girlfriend Meg Matthews, but later Noel backtracked on that statement, telling the BBC the meaning of the song was taken away from him and the media jumped on it. Liam told Rolling Stone in 1996, he says, "A Wonderwall can be anything. It's just a beautiful word. It's like looking for that bus ticket and you're trying to find it, and you finally find it, and you pull it out. Mega. That is my Wonderwall. And how do you tell your missus it's about her once she's read it is?" The song was first played at backstage of Glastonbury in the summer of 1995 by Noel. After that performance, the song caught fire and changed everything. It became one of the most performed songs in the UK, which inspired countless young people to pick up a guitar and learn how to play. It was relatable and inspiring. Now, according to Billboard, with the help of Wonderwall, in October 1995, the album Morning Glory shot to #1 in England, becoming the fastest selling album in the UK since Michael Jackson's Bad. In 1996, Morning Glory became the second best selling British album of all time. Its reception in the US was equally as impressive for an international band. Again, with the help of Wonderwall, Morning Glory went quadruple platinum. The album reached #4 on the Billboard 200 chart, and Wonderwall peaked at #2 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Wonderwall also reached #2 in both Ireland and the UK between October and November 1995, making it Oasis' biggest selling song in the UK and the third biggest selling song to never top the UK singles chart. In 1997, the band received two Grammy nominations for Best Rock Vocal Performance by a Duo or Group, and Noel Gallagher picked up an additional nomination for Best Rock Song, winning neither. But in the same year, Wonderwall did win the MTV Europe Music Award for the Best Song. Also that year, Wonderwall also won a Brit Award for the Best British Video of the Year, and in addition to this, they won an NME Award for Best Single. Wonderwall has lived on in the years to come as dozens of A-list musicians have covered the song, but dealing with the most popular one is Ryan Adams. That is the most famous version, and perhaps his biggest song himself. On Spotify, his Wonderwall version comes in at over 17 million listeners, making it easily his most popular, that even Oasis considers Adams' version better than their own. Noel told Spin, "I think Ryan Adams is the only person who ever got that song right. I would love to do the Ryan Adams version, but in front of 60,000 Oasis fans, that will not be possible." The song was played at the funeral of Leah Betts, a teenager who died in 1995 after taking ecstasy. Oasis also gave permission to use the track in a video reconstruction of her last hours as a part of an anti-drug campaign. The song has also been adopted by Manchester City FC as their anthem, as both Noel and Liam Gallagher are fans of Manchester City, and is played at the public address system at the Etihad Stadium following each victory. Supporters of Minnesota FC in the Major League Soccer also sing the song to serenade the club's players after every home victory. Jay-Z famously opened his Glastonbury 2008 with a cover of the track, after Noel claimed it was wrong having hip-hop at Glastonbury. But after Jay-Z performed the track of Wonderwall, No then took it all back. He says, "I said what I said and it was wrong." The iconic video was directed by Nigel Dick. Nigel spoke with Videotastic to discuss the treatment of how it all came together. He says, "The band really related to the Beatles. I borrowed the idea of the showgirls from Hard Day's Night. The people playing saws also came from the English music hall. There is a lot of that in Hard Day's Night, definitely a part of growing up in England in the 1960s. We shot in a disused factory in London, the only place we could find on short notice. The band hated doing videos, they were not engaged in the process. It was something they had to do. They were loath to appear. I gave one of them a newspaper, someone else a guitar, and lined them up for the first shot. Once the camera started rolling, they started acting their hearts out. We were all concerned about them getting bored, which is why in the video we have the foosball table and the showgirls in high heels and stockings, keeping them entertained, much like the rap videos really. There's no doubt that Wonderwall will forever be one of the best British songs that was ever produced out of the UK."